guys, welcome to Under Construction with Jerry Keenan, the Alliance for Actions podcast. This is where you can hear directly from the decision makers building a better future in New Jersey. Be sure to subscribe on your preferred platform so you never miss an episode. Now, here's Under Construction with Jerry Keenan.
And hello everyone, I'm Jerry Keenan and welcome to Under Construction with Jerry Keenan, the Alliance for Actions podcast. We have a great guest here today, Cindy Norfleet. Cindy is the CEO of Cleef Engineering. She's been a long-time good friend and supporter of the Alliance for Action. Cindy is our co-chair of our Somerset County chapter. She's also co-chair of our Inside Scoop series, and she's our second vice chair of the New Jersey Alliance for Action Board of Directors. Cindy, it's great seeing you again. Always a pleasure. Thanks a lot. Thanks for being here. Tell me a little bit about Cleef Engineering.
Cleef Engineering, it's a firm I'm very proud of. We have 9 offices, about 250 employees. The firm was started in 1972 by my father, Neil Van Cleef.
That's terrific. Now, what kind of work do you do? And who are your clients?
So we cover the major disciplines in engineering: survey, geotech, schools, transportation, site civil. Our major clients range from large agencies like the New Jersey Turnpike Authority, all the way down to individual homeowners. So we pride ourselves on giving all the services of a large firm, but the feel of a small, intimate firm.
You still do a lot of work with municipal work?
We do. We are in over 50 municipalities in New Jersey, several in Pennsylvania. So
wow.
That's a big part of our business, and we are committed to it because we become part of the communities that we serve.
Now, your father, you mentioned, started at Neil back in, I think you just said 1972.
Yes.
How did it come to be?
He started off he was a partner with Boren, Bogart, and Van Cleef Engineering. He started that in Hillsborough, New Jersey. Eventually bought out his partners, and in 1972 launched his own firm.
And what a firm it's been. Your father, Neil, is really a legend in the industry. We were very, very proud to recognize him with our Lifetime Achievement Award a few years ago. And not only is he a legend, I'm sure he's a great dad, but he's just a great guy. I had so much fun talking and playing with him. And we did play. We joked around, and he's terrific. But when you're taking over, were you let's see, he was the president or CEO. Mm-hmm. Were you the next, or what was the succession plan?
There's only been 2 of us.
Okay.
He was first, I'm second.
So those are big shoes to fill. Again, a legend, the person who started the company, the person who I'm sure is looking over your shoulder whenever he believes he should be. Mm-hmm. What's that like?
It was challenging at first, for sure. And the funny thing is, I never thought I would do this. I went to school in Virginia. I wanted to get out of New Jersey. Didn't want to do anything with the family business. Ended up working at National Geographic Television for a number of years. I was director of kids' TV and video programming, which was a great first career. And what that taught me was how to manage people and how to manage a brand. Because what my father did, he created a brand. And at National Geographic, our emphasis was to protect the logo, to protect the brand. And I've carried that over into Van Cleef Engineering.
Now, protect the logo, protect the brand, and something very important as the CEO of a large company, 250 people, you have to know how to deal with all different types of personalities. When you were working at National Geographic, I know at least one person. You dealt with one celebrity. Tell us about that, and tell us, how you made all these people conform to your wishes.
Well, at National Geographic, we worked closely with Dudley Moore. He was a narrator of our series, Really Wild Animals, and that was fascinating to work with a celebrity and approach him in such a way that he would do what we wanted him to do as a narrator, but not insult him, not impede his talents. And I think that's what I do now with 250 people, right, that we're managing. I am committed to them. I know every employee by name. I recognize them.
That's terrific, and that's not easy.
That's not easy, but it's really important to me because our people are what make Van Cleef Engineering great. and to be able to try to give them what they need to do their jobs, inspire them. I think that's what my father did, just by his commitment to hard work, and I try to bring that into the company now. It's the commitment to hard work and to serving our clients, because that's what.
So how did that happen when you're graduating high school and you're saying, I'm going to college and I want to get out of Jersey, I want to start something new? And it sounds like you were happy and doing quite well at National Geographic. What was it like? I tried to get out and they bring me back in. Was it one of those? How did you end up back in Jersey and running your company?
Well, my husband and I decided to have children, and you can't be running around the globe. I mean, you can, but it's really tricky. And I wanted to raise my children, and I would say that's one of the greatest joys of my life, of course, if not the greatest joy of my life, are my kids.
I'm sure of that. And again, running a family organization, did you have time? I mean, how did you find time for your kids when you're the top person? Not right away, I assume, but you're always a high level person at the company, and company doesn't. Disasters don't run 9 to 5.
Right, right. Well, I think it's getting great people, right? Getting great people. I have an operations staff now who are fabulous, and they run the company. They do the day to day. So that it was a gradual transition over time as the company got bigger. That we've more than doubled in size since I started with the company, that we needed a strong operations staff to support our engineers and our surveyors and our inspectors. So it's not just me, it's my operations staff.
Now, you mentioned before you're with 250 people, and your goal and your job is to get everyone pulling in the same direction. When you came back from Washington and started working at Van Cleef, you were not the CEO at the time, and there was people there already before you. You're a woman, so you're daddy's daughter, daddy's kid, and you're a woman. Did you ever run into a problem with people taking you serious?
Yes, and I'll add to the mix. I'm not an engineer.
Oh, right, yes.
So yeah, it was a triple whammy, and I had to work really hard. And I had to prove myself to the people who were already with the firm, who had been with the firm for decades, and then I'm coming in, and it took a long time. I've been with the firm for more than 24 years now. So, time and dedication, patience.
Well, for as long as we've known each other, Cindy, I can tell that you are a person who obviously wants to get the job done, but you also have that empathy for people, and you realize and you recognize, and working for a family-run organization, that comes with it. What kind of, what was the biggest struggle? You're incredibly successful, but there had to have been times of like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do?
I think the biggest struggle was not being Neil, creating my own identity, and creating and allowing the firm to be as successful as it had been, but to grow and do things in different ways. Because that change is hard, really hard for people.
For sure. Any company goes through that. You have, the interesting thing about the Alliance for Action here, we're 52 years old. We've had 3 presidents in 52 years. So in a lot of ways, it's a help because people know what Van Cleef and the Alliance for Action is all about. But then at the same time, they say, well, this woman is following a legend. Does she deserve this spot? And you've got to make a name for yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's terrific that you're able to do that. And I see so many of your people come to our meetings and our events, as well as you do too. But I can see that there is a bond, that everyone's in it together and trying to make this thing happen. Where do you see your new business coming from now?
We are looking at expanding regionally into regions in New Jersey where we haven't been as prevalent.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And how do you? That's a good question. How do you develop business as an engineering company?
You use your connections, people you know. I mean, our reputation precedes us. We have as I said, we have a great brand. So we're well known throughout New Jersey and Pennsylvania as a great brand. But we talk to people. We look for firms to acquire, smaller firms. We look to grow organically as well.
Mm-hmm.
But we try, I think our approach, I know our approach is that we don't try to grow too fast. We don't try to take on what we can't do, because our most important thing is to deliver to our clients.
Mm-hmm.
And we never want to take on jobs that we can't accomplish.
That's great. Well, terrific. Let's talk about a little about Cindy.
Mm-hmm.
So, Cindy, so we know now, after high school, you went to University of Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Kudos. That's a great school.
Great school.
And was that your first job, National Geographic?
It was my second. I had worked at National Wildlife Federation for Ranger Rick magazine. That was my. Yes, I worked on a magazine that Ranger Rick had spun off to help teachers teach about environmental education.
So, when you went to Ranger Rick, how did
Mm-hmm.
that happen? How did you get that?
I think I just applied. You know, back then you had to like type up a little letter and send it off. You know, there is no Indeed or things like that.
Yeah.
So someone knew someone, and they said, "Oh, you might want to work there." So that's what I did.
That reminds me, and we spoke about this before, when we both graduated high school, they didn't have Common Apps for college, and you couldn't go on the computer. You actually had to type everything in or handwrite. I wrote hand wrote my applications, and it was a tedious experience. So that makes me laugh when you talk about going to Ranger Rick.
Right,
But,
right.
So when you realized you wanted to raise kids. Was this a conversation you had with your dad? Was there ever a possibility that you came back to Jersey and worked for another company?
Yeah, well, I was really, I mean, I loved working at National Geographic Television. Really, the only thing that brought us back to New Jersey was 9/11.
Oh.
That event occurred, and it made you want to be with your family, right? So I think a lot of people felt that way. A lot of people changed their lives at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided to move back to New Jersey, and then my dad asked, did I want to come in and help with marketing? And I said, okay, I'll give this a shot. And then I went from marketing to operations to, over almost 3 decades to being CEO.
So your father, I don't believe, is very involved these days in the company itself. Is that right?
Correct. He's happily retired.
But what happens? Are there any times that you're faced with an issue and you say, "I better call Dad," or "What would Dad do?" How do you handle that?
I do. I see him almost every night. We live right next to each other.
Oh, that's great.
So I stop after work to see my parents and take care of my horses. I have 2 horses. And I'll talk about the events of the day with my father. And there's things that I will bring up, and he'll just say, do the right thing. That's been his mantra for his entire life, do the right thing.
I have a very good friend, he's another legend in the contracting business who ran into a situation like that years and years ago, and he called his dad and said, "What do you think, Dad?" He says, "You'll figure it out."
Mm-hmm.
All these years working, and I finally go for some advice, and you give me,
Right.
"You'll figure it out."
Right. I think that's the beauty of working with someone who's so confident in themselves and so confident in you as a leader that they let you make the decisions.
Now, you mentioned, just in passing, that you have or had 2 horses.
I currently have 2 horses.
Wow.
Yeah, aged horses.
Is that right? Yeah.
They're both about 30. So,
I had no idea horses lasted that long.
yeah, neither did I.
Wow. That's so. Are these riding? I mean.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I rode a lot as a kid. Growing up, I showed horses, jumped horses.
You
And,
did.
and so I still have them in my life.
So how did you get into? Everyone loves horses, but not everyone has horses. How did that happen?
My dad, my father grew up as a farmer. So the Van Cleefs have been in Hillsborough since the Revolutionary War. I mean, they're buried in the graveyards near where we live. So he grew up on a farm, had horses, and when I think I was 1, was the first time he put me on a horse.
You're 1.
Yes, so I always loved horses, and then I ended up just getting a pony and showing. And I mean, I think it's a great thing for a young woman to have horses. It teaches you independence, responsibility, keeps you out of trouble. And it's a lifelong passion for me.
So that's interesting. When I got home from school, I went out and played basketball, or played football, or played baseball. You went home and rode your horses.
Yeah.
How about other pets? Did you have? Do you consider a horse a pet or?
No.
Okay.
No. I have dogs too.
Okay.
They're pets, but
Yeah.
you can't bring your horse into your living room.
No.
It doesn't work so well.
Now, can you? I go flying on planes, and they have these emotional support pets. The dogs. I've never seen a horse go on.
I've seen ponies. They've had ponies on. Yeah. I don't know on a plane, but in hospitals for sure.
For sure. Yeah.
They'll bring a little Shetland pony in there.
That's
and
beautiful.
do that. Yes, they're beautiful animals.
Yeah.
They do give me great joy.
Oh, that's terrific. That's terrific. And is that something that you interact with the horse? I'm sorry we're spending so much time on the horse.
Horses,
I love the idea.
Yes.
But
My
do you have to
partners are going to
interact?
be like, why are you talking about horses so much? What about Van Cleef Engineering?
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Well, let's get back to Van Cleef Engineering. So right now you're in New Jersey and a bit in Pennsylvania.
Yes, Eastern
Are there any other
Pennsylvania,
states?
No, we do work though. We extend into New York, into Maryland. But our offices are in New Jersey and in Eastern Pennsylvania.
Okay. And do you get around to each office? You do.
I do. I think again, it's the people, right? It's the people. It's a people business. The people they create our product, and I enjoy going to the different offices and seeing everyone. And each of our offices has a different flavor. Often there's a specialty in our Freehold office is mostly transportation. Our Arlington office is mostly municipal. So everybody has their little specialty. But there are like 9 little families working together. So it's a great feeling.
Now, we both attended the Professional Women in Construction Leadership Awards program. And a couple of years ago, the Alliance for Action recognized you as one of the great women in construction. What does it mean to you to be a woman leader in the construction industry?
It's an honor and a challenge. It's great to be recognized. At the same time, I feel like we have so much more to do. Like, how do we get more women into engineering? We are, across our industry, we're experiencing shortages in talent, just not enough engineers out there. And we need to get more women into our industry.
How do you do that?
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
And we're talking about starting programs in high schools even. We already have internships where we bring young people into our offices as college students, as juniors, sophomores, juniors, seniors. And often they graduate school and start working for us right away. It's a great way to bring people into our company. But I feel like we need to start younger, because a lot of young women I think are intimidated by the thought of becoming an engineer. And we need to show them that they absolutely can. Our women engineers are great employees, great communicators.
Do you do mentoring?
We do. We do that within our company. We have a mentorship program within our company, and we seek to mentor all levels within that. But I think we need to reach out. We need to reach out sooner and get women to go into our industry. It's changing. There certainly are more women in our industry, but we need even more.
Interesting. When I went to Rowan University, and several years ago, when my daughter was still in middle school, she was invited to a day down at Rowan for engineering, and they took her around. They had like 5 or 6, I guess 5 different stations that she did. Mechanical engineering. She was exposed to civil engineering, chemical engineering. She actually made that day some perfume, and it is terrific that these are areas that are not traditionally welcoming to women, and that's changing. We have a long way to go, but it's great to see. And one of the things we've been doing, we recognize. I mentioned with our women in construction. Anything that we can do with the Alliance to promote that, we're trying to do. So we're with you on that. It's very, very important. And, the interesting thing is, too, you mentioned we have a shortage. I believe we don't just have a shortage of women in engineering. I'm told that there's a shortage of engineers.
100%. Yes.
So there's a
Across-
market. There's a market. If you're looking to
Right.
become a woman engineer, there's a market. They need you.
Yes. Give us a call.
Yeah.
And we're a WBE, so it's part of our, it's near and dear to my heart. But I would be remiss to say it's only women, a lack of women. We are experiencing a point in a cycle where there's a dearth of engineers, and I think that will self-correct over time. But right now, it's a challenge. I mean, you hear it from the authorities, you hear it from all your professionals who come to your events that we are struggling to find enough talent to do all the work that's out there.
Now, somewhat recently, you received your WBE certification. What does that mean? Tell us about. I know you're very proud and very happy of that. Tell us, what does that mean for Van Cleef Engineering?
Well, it means that there's certain doors, certain opportunities that might be open to us that weren't before. It's a way to make an introduction. We're well known as a firm. It's an enhancement of what we already do.
What would you say, looking back, you've been with Van Cleef Engineering for many years now, what would you say currently is the highlight of your career?
Oh boy, that is a good question. Highlight of my career? I think it's taking over as my father's company and being accepted as that.
Yeah.
As feeling confident and proud of what I've done to continue my father's legacy.
And what a legacy it is. You know, what he did, starting the company from nothing and building it to where it is now, but then you taking the ball and carrying it to new heights.
Right.
That has to be especially gratifying because your father, as great as he did, it's a new world, and you've taken it through
adapted.
the new world. You've adapted. How do you do that? How do you adapt?
I think it's looking outward more. We're a very different company than we were 5-10 years ago. We've not only grown, but we've established a partnership. We have 9 partners, and we are very nimble and very interactive. And we've looked outside. Not just we haven't continued to just look inward and say how can we make things better. We look outward, and we interact with our peers in the industry, and we are open to doing things better and improving our company. That's my goal every day. Make it better. What can I do to make our company better?
And that's not easy. That is a time where when you're trying to do that. Look, Cindy, you've been very, very successful. You're a very smart person, but you don't have all the answers.
No.
Do you have a key executive team that you rely on? How do you make these tough decisions?
Oh, it's my partners. So we have a very strong leadership team that's also backed by an excellent operations team, which takes the day-to-day running of the company off them so they can do what they do best.
Okay. If you had the opportunity to look back at Cindy when she was in college or just coming out of college, and you had to give Cindy advice as Cindy today, what would that advice be for Cindy of yesterday?
Be open to opportunities. Life is unpredictable. You can't control it. If someone had told me today I'd be doing what I'm doing, talking to you here today as CEO of an engineering company, I would say they were crazy. You know, we used to joke around. My dad worked in the sewers. That's what he did. You know, because he did wastewater engineering as some of his initial efforts. So I would say be open, and it's all going to work out.
Yeah, it's funny. I always say to my kids, every conversation and everyone you meet is a new opportunity. You don't know what's going to happen. Something just important happened in my family that we didn't expect that to happen. It really came out of nowhere. Great, great things. But and it's all because treat people with respect, treat people the way you want to be treated, and something that you think is nothing many, many times comes to be something very important.
Yes.
Was there, with that in mind, who were the people in your life that really impacted Cindy throughout your life and your career? Obviously, your dad.
Yes, my dad, my mom as well, hardworking.
Yep.
I mean, my parents, we struggled financially for a long time because Dad was building the business and doing what he did, and my mom worked really hard initially with him in the business and then raising 4 kids. And they taught us by example. It wasn't like they said, you need to do this or you need to do that. They worked hard. They treated people with respect, as you say. And we are all individually successful business people now. I would have to say, and I had mentors at National Geographic and National Wildlife, but I think the continuing influence on my life has been my parents and my husband, who's a great partner.
I met your husband once, just for a short time, but I did meet your husband once. We were having lunch, and he came up.
Right.
Really, very, very nice. So, I do know one little thing about you. We know you went to University of Virginia, but that wasn't necessarily what the family wanted you to do. Tell us about that.
Yes. So my father went to Lafayette College, a great engineering school, and both my brothers and my sister went to Lafayette. And I just said, I'm not going to do that. I was accepted, and I think I went to the interview, and I told them in the interview I wasn't going to go there. I thought my father was going to kill me. But it was the right thing for me to do, to get away. It made me, I don't think I would have been as successful coming back to Van Cleef Engineering if I hadn't developed my skills somewhere else.
Well, Cindy, you've had a wonderful career, 2 careers, and it's wonderful. It's so nice knowing you, working with you, being able to call on you for support, for advice. Our partnership over the years has been terrific, and I'm really glad you're here today. I'm Jerry Keenan, the president of the New Jersey Alliance for Action. Thank you for watching Under Construction with Jerry Keenan. Our special guest this month is Cindy Norfleet, the CEO of Van Cleef Engineering. Once again, Cindy, thanks so much for being here, and I'll hope to see you real soon.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you, Jerry.
Thanks for tuning in. Under Construction with Jerry Keenan is a production of the New Jersey Alliance for Action. Make sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you never miss an episode, and be sure to follow us wherever you get your podcasts. Don't forget to follow on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. To learn more about membership and events, go to alliancefораction.com. Together, we're building a better future. We'll see you next time.